Hi there everyone. Actually, happy Halloween. Today is the 31st and it's a little late in the day here, but I don't need to worry because we don't generally get trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood, unfortunately. I was really hopeful when we moved down here in 2014 that I would have a new neighborhood and new kids to come by, but unfortunately that's not the case. We live in a little bit of an older neighborhood, and most of the children that may have started out here have grown up, moved out, have their own kids, trick-or-treating somewhere else. So anyway, I thought I would share with you a real quick video on how I made my card. I just recently posted this on my blog on Tony Marie's Creations and TonyMariesCreations.com. And I wanted to show you how quick and easy this card is to actually put together. So we'll start with, it uses the Playful Penguins, and this has a lot of nice sentiments to it as well. So I always like when you get a stamp set that has sentiments along with the images. I think it makes it a lot more versatile. So we're using that stamp set, and we're using this little guy. This will be the stamp that we use today. And I'm also using the Wrapped in Plaid 6x6 DSP paper. And you'll be able to see all the supplies that went into making this card. I will add the note on the video about how to get to my blog, and you'll see all the information there. So we will start off with, and I've lost my note already on the sizes of everything that I wrote down. That quickly I've lost. Oh, there it is. It just got buried. Okay, so to start, we have two panels that measure 2 by 5 3/8 Whisper White, and this is from the Plaid DSP. And you would just pick a color that coordinates with the cardstock that you want to use. And in this case, I used Shaded Spruce, and this piece of cardstock measures 6 by 5 1/2. And it was scored at 2 1/4 because you're only doing a half fold on the front. And then the other pieces that we will be using, this is the remnant when you cut the 6x6 strip. This is actually going to be used in the card. And I've already stamped and cut out the scarf that goes with Mr. Penguin. I'll set him aside. I took a rhinestone and I colored that with light cherry cobbler, and then using the nested dies I cut two coordinating, one slightly smaller than the other, die, Whisper White, and our gold foil. Also using Memento and using the Shaded Spruce, using the blends but only for a tiny little bit of a color, and that's the dark Mango Melody, and then Wink of Stella, which is my go-to on almost every card it seems like I make. I love, love, love that stuff. So to get started, the first thing I stamped was, I just randomly put a few of these. I'm not really even sure. I think it's just a little splash or a little background, or maybe it's supposed to be snow. I guess it's supposed to be snow around their feet, but I wanted to randomly stamp this. And when I say random, it's truly random. There's no rhyme or reason where I'm placing the stamp. I do stamp off. I think it just looks nicer when you don't try to keep it all in a square box. Let me grab my Stampin' Up! Chamois. I can clean my stamp and get that one out of the way. And then what we will do next is, while I have this out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. And I didn't show you on the inside of the card, but inside the card it says, "You're so cool, and this is that strip I was talking about, so we aren't throwing it away, we're actually going to use that. So I'm going to get my You're So Cool. And there's really no right place to put this. I just kind of eyeballed it so it was a little bit in the center. And now I think I'm done with that ink. We'll stick that in my storage. And I'll grab my little piece of paper here, and I'm just going to layer that underneath. Okay. And then we can actually go ahead and put that bit together, because that's all we're going to do on the inside. I'll use my double-sided tape. And I apologize, I'm not used to this layout yet in my room, so you have to bear with me. I apologize. So I just gave myself about 1/8 of an inch there, and then I'll just mount my DSP kind of all over the place here. And I'll match that up here. Okay. So then I'm going back to take my 2 pieces. Of course, I'm not stamping on this, so I'll set that aside. And I am going to stamp Mr. Penguin using my Memento. And actually, I'll probably have better coverage if I turn that upside down. Put my lid back on, because me and Memento tend to have a bit of a problem every time we play together. I'm always getting my hand on the lid, and there's a lot of detail here in the center, and it doesn't look like it's inked, and it may not be, so when I put it down here we'll see for sure, but the center of the penguin is more of a lighter look. So I am going to just position him, and his flippers, I guess, are going to be a little bit outside the area, and that's okay. And there we go. And I'm happy with that. So let me move him up here a little bit. This is all that we're using the Mango Melody for, is just to put a little bit of color in there on his beak. That's it. Then we're done with that. And that's going to go back up in the shelf where it belongs as well. So I'm not hunting for that a little bit later. So what I did next is my trusty Wink of Stella. And I just laid some color down all over him. And what tends to happen when you use Wink of Stella, it will, since it is water-based, it will kind of draw some color out sometime on the image that you stamped. And you'll see it, I think, a little bit more here since I used a water-based ink here. I'm going to just do the same thing. I'm going to color. Now, do you see how it's pulling? It's kind of pulling the color up. And that's fine. I don't mind that effect on the scarf. It kind of looks like it all blends. Okay. And then we're just going to adhere just a little bit. And we'll position this. Actually comes down just a little bit. You see a tiny bit of his neck there. Okay, now I'm looking to see. I did use dimensionals when I put it on. I have to keep checking to make sure that I'm still in camera, because I'm kind of hanging over it here. I'm using our mini dimensionals. Just peel the backs off of that. And this gold just really makes everything pop, I think. I love it. Okay. And then I did not pop up the panel itself, so it's going to lay flat on the card. So that makes it a little bit easier. I can kind of go just off center. I don't want to take the tape over too far. Let me line that back up. Kind of center him in there. And then I have a 20-inch piece of the Night of Navy and Sahara Sand Baker's Twine. And that's just going to go in here, and you'll get to see me trying to tie a bow on video here. Which, this is always one of the biggest things that seems to challenge people in my classes, is they have to tie a bow. And I always try to leave plenty of material so that they're not struggling with trying to make a bow without enough Baker's twine. So we'll tighten that there. We are actually right now under a tornado watch here in North Carolina, and it's until 11 o'clock tonight. And as I'm looking out my side window here, the leaves and the trees are blowing like crazy. I'm just going to trim off the tails here a little bit. And last but not least, there it is. I'm like, where did that go? Is, and of course I don't have my, well, I have a picker, but it's not my Stampin' Up! Picker, so let me, since it's right now it's handy, I'm going to put my rhinestone there in the center. And again, it's just all about the bling. And that's it. That is a quick and easy card. I like the line, the layout of it. It's a little different. Instead of a full fold card, you save a little cardstock. You're not using quite as much DSP. And just a little random stamping for your background here. And it's done. So I hope you like my little fellow and you try this card out. I will be posting this on YouTube. And if you haven't already, if you would please just subscribe to my channel. I will be adding more things out there as I get a little more nerve to do these videos. And hope to have you seeing more of me out there. So thanks for taking the time to look. I appreciate it. And have a great Halloween if you're celebrating Halloween. And we are welcoming November tomorrow, which I cannot believe, and that means you know what is right around the corner. So enjoy your time. It's fleeting, and we'll be at Christmas and then the New Year before you know it. So thanks everyone.